Never ending.
Okay, you're on. Jamie? All right, you'll stand there, and
Yep.
I'll stand here, and raise your hand.
Take off my hat.
Take off your, don't have to take off, yeah, sure. I, Jamie Knopfsinger,
I, Jamie Knopfsinger,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Oklahoma
and the Constitution of the State of Oklahoma
and the Charter of the City of Pryor Creek, Oklahoma,
and the Charter of the City of Pryor Creek, Oklahoma,
that I will not knowingly receive,
that I will not knowingly receive,
directly or indirectly,
directly or indirectly,
any money or other valuable thing
any money or other valuable thing
for the performance or non-performance
for the performance or non-performance
of any act of duty pertaining to my office,
of any act or duty pertaining to my office,
other than the compensation allowed by law.
other than the compensation allowed by law.
I further swear
I further swear
that I will faithfully discharge my duties
that I will faithfully discharge my duties
as Rec Board Seat Number 1
as Rec Board Seat Number 1
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
You have been sworn.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'll get you to sign right here.
So I just have a question. What is the compensation allowed by law?
Zero. Absolutely zero, sir. And it's a never-ending term like the
Well, I mean, since you
US
brought
Supreme
it up,
Court.
I mean,
Can I offer dissenting opinions?
that'll be your first item of business.
Very good. You may take a seat at the desk.
we got plenty of openings.
All right. Welcome aboard, sir.
Sir.
All right, having said that, we'll call this meeting to order. Item number 2 has been administering the oath of Mr. No Fire, so we've taken care of that. Item number 3, approved minutes from February 6, 2023 regular meeting. Those minutes have been provided for you. On this vote, you'll have to abstain.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion, we approve the minutes as presented.
Okay, motion's been made by Mr. Riff,
I'll second.
second by Mr. Olson. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Item number 4, approved minutes of March 1st, 2023 special meeting. Those have also been provided for you. If there's any discussion, if not, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion, we approve the minutes of the March 1st, 2023 special meeting.
Okay, motion made by Riff,
I'll second.
second by Olson. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Item number 5, petitions from the audience, limited to 5 minutes in advance reservation.
There's none.
There is none. Moving to item number 6, discuss possible recommended council action regarding hiring Michael Moore for the director position at Pryor Creek Rec Center, Range G, Step 4, annual wage $65,643, effective March 22nd, 2023. Mr. Moore, would you like to get up and tell us a little bit about yourself? And yep. Now, if you will, please step up because we're recording.
To the microphone.
That way everybody can hear you.
By the way, Mr. Moore, this is a public meeting and it's being recorded.
Oh,
It's
pressure-
going
pressure's
nationwide.
on. Okay, all right. And it's Mike Moore. My dad's Mr. Moore, so.
All right.
That's what they say. All right, well, first of all, thanks for the opportunity. You know, I'm excited about it. Never dreamt I'd be back in Pryor where it all started seemingly, but I am excited about it. I left town for college and seemingly just kept on going and never came back till recently. So I'm the more I've thought about it, the more excited I am about being back, you know, in my hometown. I went to college out in western Kansas at Fort Hays. I'll just give you a quick rundown. Got out of college, wanting to coach college football, so I kind of followed that dream. I ended up in North Dakota and thought I would be there for a couple of years and come back to this part of the country, but ended up, got a job up there, ended up having a family and the whole thing like that, so ended up staying in North Dakota for 32 years and coached for about 11, I think it was out for a little while, got back to the college, in administration in our alumni office at the college I'd been coaching at, and then had an opportunity to become an athletic director. So I did that for just over 14 years. And it was a good run and enjoyed it. Had a great president, and so in that setting, the president and the athletic director kind of go somewhat hand in hand, and we were a smaller college, so I think maybe more so. And our guy decided to retire, so that got my wheels turning, and ended up deciding to go ahead and make a move. Been there long enough to qualify for a little bit of an early retirement deal, so they let me take advantage of that, and so ended up in Pittsburg, Kansas, a little closer to home, because I wanted to get south, a little warmer climate and all. And then did that for 3 years. I ran the YMCA in Pittsburgh. I was the CEO there for 3 years, and then had another opportunity. Ended up building a home down closer to this area, and so ended up getting a job down in the Langley areas where I am now, or will have been. And then this position came up just kind of accidentally. My friend Mr. Allward over there brought it to my attention kind of in the beginning, and just kind of one thing led to another, and here I am. So
Okay.
excited to be here. So I'd be happy to field any questions or.
Any other questions? Maybe tell us a little bit about your YMCA experience?
Yeah, I was the CEO there, like I said. I followed a gentleman who'd been there 36 years. And he'd done a nice job in a lot of ways, I think, but they needed some upgrading. He was 81 years old and still doing it. And so I think the board felt it was time. And he'd done a nice job and all. And so did that. They have a lot of the same things that we have here at the rec center, although they have some in-house dance, gymnastics, those kind of programs. They have a menu of youth sports throughout the course of the year. And then we have aquatics and fitness, that stuff's very similar. So, a little smaller budget, just a little bit over $1 million is what they had. But needed some upgrading and all, and so we were working on those kinds of things. And then the opportunity to get a little bit closer here just kind of popped up. I run into a guy in Walmart and Grove, and next thing you know, I'm living and working in the Langley area. So,
Okay.
So yeah, and the rec center, very similar, from what I can tell. So when that all came about, it just my comfort level, at least in my head, was there. So.
Any other questions from the members of the board? Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. I will tell you that, guys, we went through the interview process. We had pretty much anybody within the board that could make it to interview. The two leading candidates, we had two very, very qualified candidates, and basically the decision came down to the amount of experience, and it was a business decision that led us to bring on Mr. Moore. So, any other questions or concerns?
I might add one thing that's.
If you'll come up, yeah.
Just, there's I don't think any of you have my resume, but, one of the things, thinking through the job and all, is that I think I do have a feel, for the public relations aspect, I'll call it, of the position. Again, it's very similar to the Y in Pittsburgh. It was a very public position, and the community rallied. It'd been there 135 years. When I took over, so it's kind of an icon. You talk about icons in the community. It's highly regarded, and also, I did participate in a lot of things with the Y, and at local college, and got involved. I was on a rec board there at the college, member of Rotary. So I did have some civic, background, and I guess my point of saying all that is have some understanding, I think, of what, if I'm perceiving everything correctly, that there is an aspect of this job that, that's needed. So
Okay.
whatever that.
Greatly appreciate that.
Chairman, I'll make a motion that we recommend to City Council the hiring of Michael Moore for the director's position at Pryor Creek Recreation Center.
Okay, motion made by Riff,
I'll second.
second by Olson. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. What I will tell you is this next step in this process will go to the Budget Committee because of the step and range. So we'll go from that point, and then it'll go before the City Council on the 21st from that point.
Budget Committee, Budget Personnel Committee is on the 9th. which
Is on the
is
9th.
Thursday.
All right, item number 6, discuss possible council recommended action regarding, item number 7, discuss possible action regarding an expenditure in the amount of $3,500 to Jayco Heat and Air for temporary repair of Recreation Center pool heater for aquatics repair and maintenance account 848465091.
Okay, so as you all know, our pool heater went down unexpectedly, and when Jayco walked in, the news was it's dead and you're gonna be without one for 12 weeks. And so we immediately went into crisis mode and, do what you can to get it fixed. So they spent about a day and a half working on it, got it running again, and then once it died the second time, about a week later, we were able to bring another company in to fix it, and it's been working ever since. I had no idea that this would be the amount of parts and labor that would come after the fact, or I would have, done my best to try to bid that out. But I had no idea it would be over $2,500. So when I got this in, I made sure to let Mayor know we could get it on the agenda tonight to get it approved. But it was a situation where it had to be fixed, and otherwise, the pool dropped down to, I believe 80 was as cool as we got, which shut down our classes, shut down our after-school program, and so we had to get it up and going. So we did.
I can
It was
vouch for
tough
that
to-
80 degrees, I felt it.
Yeah, it was cold. It was cold.
I think of 80 degrees as being like warm.
Not in a while.
No, not inside without sunshine. It's very cold. So anyway, when the bill came in, I wanted to make sure we went through the right process to get that approved and paid.
Can I say a word about the bill? I was surprised about the level, about the price that it was. But this company has dropped what they've done, and they've come to our aid several times over the last 4 or 6 months. Their charges are not out of line at all by what they do. So I was surprised about the charges. We haven't seen these kind of charges from them before.
But I have another bid that I got it all wrapped up today, and it should have been on tonight, but I dropped the ball on that and didn't get it here. So it'll be on your April meeting. But it was for the new unit for the lobby, and they are low bid on it. So, they've been low bid the last 2 or 3 times. So this was a little unexpected, and Gary and I both sat down with them and let them know, like, if you anticipate it's gonna be this kind of bill, you gotta stop what you're doing and let us know so we can get it bid out next time.
Okay.
But new company, they didn't know, so.
So your approval level is up to 2,500, so you're asking, because it went over 2,500 to 3,500.
It'll have to
additional
go
thousand.
to-
Go.
To council.
So did it have anything to do with the fact that this company didn't get the bid on replacing the unit?
Well, they chose not to bid on the unit, and this was before that. So this was the very beginning when we were still trying to get it going. And it was about another week later before we asked for bids on the unit. And that's when they opted not to bid on it because they were gonna be, it's not their specialty. And so they were gonna be a little bit higher than the ones who are actual boiler companies. So they just chose not to submit a bid. So.
Just to clarify, a department head has the prerogative to spend anything under $1,000, and anything up to $2,500, mayor has the prerogative to spend that amount.
Got it.
Anything over $2,500 demands to go to city council.
Okay. All right, any discussion or questions? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion made by Riff,
Second.
second by Olson, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Item number 8, Director's Report.
Okay, start with facility repair and maintenance. Steve Powell was unable to be here, but if you'll remember, to back up just a little bit, we hired Thomas Keeter, the mechanical engineer, to come in and do a study on the humidity issues we were having. The first fix, if you remember correctly, was $1 million plus fix to basically build new walls in the pool. The second thing that they recommended that we fix was to replace the unit over the group fitness room. So once we brought Jayco in and Seth started looking at it, he felt like that he had some concerns because he felt like he could work on that unit, the existing unit that we have, and not necessarily need to replace it right away. So what happened is we kind of made it to where we all could get on the same page. Seth from Jayco and Steve Powell, the mechanical engineer, all met and called me on the phone, and this is the report that came from that. So I just wanted to read this to you so you know where we are with that whole process. Steve said a meeting was held in our offices on January 27th with the mechanical engineer Thomas Keeter and a representative Seth from Jayco Heat and Air. The purpose of the meeting was to resolve the issue of inspection by both parties about the HVAC unit over, he says the Boys and Girls Club area, but he means the group fitness room. It is on that side of the building, so. The report basically recommended the unit be replaced as part of the master plan. The representative from Jayco indicated that with certain modifications, the unit could be optimized to provide a couple up to 4 years of good service while funds could be raised to replace the unit and do other items called for in the report. The meeting allowed both parties to explain their work tasks, and after about 45 minutes, it was clear both parties were on the same page for making the interim repairs and getting the unit to work as efficiently as possible, thus getting more information about its performance capabilities and defer the replacement of the unit for at least 2 years. The Jayco representative indicated that spending the approximate $3,000 to $4,000 now to optimize the unit is cost effective since a new unit is now bid at over $25,000, which is all that Mayor and I had put in there for this project. Mr. Keeter agrees that spending the money to optimize the existing unit will extend its useful life and may extend it sufficiently that replacement may be deferred even further than the planning period. As you know, the report findings recommended that more upper wall divisions be added to promote better air zone isolation. These type of improvements are extensive and should be done in conjunction with HVAC unit replacements to match those new zones with the unit size. Mr. Keeter acknowledged that the specified 510 unit was based on the new zone in place, yet none of those new zones are currently planned. Therefore, using the existing 610 unit in its best configuration will match the existing zone of the area there. Bottom line, the engineering experts agree that performing the analysis and repairs to the existing unit to get the best performance from that unit and deferring the bid prices of $27,500 was the better decision for the rec center at this point. This now becomes our recommendation to the board.
So they're recommending
Just repair the unit.
to try to get another couple of years out of it, report it by fixing the zoning and all of that stuff. And saving
And saving.
$25,000.
Because we would have been over budget. We did not budget the correct amount. So if we can make these repairs, try to get a couple years out of it, and then get a more accurate bid so that we can put that in the budget and plan for that accordingly so we're not overspending, would be a smarter decision. So,
Good.
do you have any other questions about that?
I feel confident with the professional sitting at a table and talking about it and working through it, that they're.
It was-
that they've.
Yeah, it was a great conversation. Because at first it seemed like people were kind of on the wrong, but at the end of it, we realized everybody's on the same page, and it was definitely.
So is the
best
next
decision.
step to get bids to work on the,
Yes,
unit?
and I will bid that out since it is over the amount.
And you said at least 2 years, but we might be able to go longer?
2 to 4 and possibly more. Seth from Jayco feels like they need a lot of maintenance, so that all the units up there need maintenance. So he is kind of looking into those and getting me kind of an itemized list of things that need to be done, that we can then prioritize and bid out as we see ready or put into the budget for next year to get some of those things fixed,
so in a sense, with the $25,000 that's set aside for that new unit, could now be distributed to kind of upgrade some of our
Yes.
other units to get them working efficiently.
Yes. We've got filters that need, which we did start that. We have replaced the filters, because those are all inexpensive things that we can get started on now, and get those working better.
Well, that's good news.
Okay, yes, I thought it was too. And speaking of the heat exchanger in the lobby is down. That's the bids that we have, that will be on the April meeting, and we're looking at around 5,000, just so you know. So, it's a big cost, but it's gonna have to be fixed. That's the one, if you'll remember, started putting like carbon monoxide into the lobby, and so we got MUB out there and we shut it down immediately. And then it has not been turned back on. We can run the AC, we just can't run the heat until we get that fixed. So we'll vote on that. It's not an emergency, so we'll wait and vote on that in April, and then we can get that ordered and get it fixed. Okay, that's all I had for repair and maintenance, besides all of the pool items, which I think after the special meeting, everybody's up to date on all of that. Financial report, I'll pass out mine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You'll see, the numbers are comparable for the month. I mean, we're down a little under $1,000. Memberships, we have an issue with Rec Track. And Brittany actually made her aware of it, and she's looking into it and has reached out to Rec Track. There were some add-ons, like the $8 add-ons that were on auto pay that were not taken out in February. And we have no idea why.
What's RecTrack?
So RecTrack, sorry, is our computer software that does all of our memberships and that we have at the front desk, so when people check in and make payments and that sort of thing. So it's set up to automatically withdraw, and it would automatically withdraw the primary, but the secondary accounts for $8 are saying unbilled, and we don't know why. So we've gotten a message into them to get with us, and so that could be the difference, because we had 153 new members in February. So to me, our retention rate was 85%, so I mean, our membership should not be down. So we'll see what we can do to correct that and hopefully get those people billed in March to make up for that. Everything else, facility rental is gonna be your 5-tool and some of the different places like that. Pool parties were down just a little bit. Everything else was relatively the same. You will notice on events that $805, that was our Swim with the Mermaid. So that was a nice little extra bit of revenue for the pool. And then, like I said, everything else looks like we dropped about $800 or so, but most of that is from membership. So we will make sure we follow up with that. Did you have a financial?
And just so you know, this is a real-time report that they track monthly, because our financials are in arrears, and so we get a snapshot of our financials, which will be presented by the mayor. But Jessica does a good job of kind of keeping real time, and we can kind of compare the real time with our snapshot.
The real time is more accurate to the date than what we're able to produce through our operating system here at City Hall. I apologize not giving you copies today. The day got a little longer, and man, I got to tell you, I forgot about it, but I guess that's the first time I forgot about it in a long time. What we have, total fund equity at the end of February is $934,251.22. Our sales tax reported for the month of January at $54,390.21. That's about normal. That's about normal for us. There are a few items that I'm going to ask our budget personnel committee to adjust, and one of those is repair and maintenance for aquatics. We've got right now we've got $32,795 in there, and we need to spend more than that. So we can overspend that line item if we don't overspend the section. So what I will request budget personnel to do is to reappropriate from the rec center repair and maintenance over to aquatics repair and maintenance, so that that section, so that we're square, We can overspend a line item as long as we take care of that line item within the section, which is the rec center. So I'll be asking budget personnel to do that.
And so that heater that we're getting ready to buy is what's gonna
That is
pretty much
correct.
deplete that,
That is correct.
that section. So what you're gonna do is just reappropriate funds from the rec center overall general to that.
That is correct, and I can show that to you. Highlighted in yellow. So this item 5091 and this item 5091, which is an 846, and this is an 845. This is rec center and this is aquatics. And the $11,880.90 is what we will need to move over
To-
from this account.
Okay.
This account is the account that will have the 25,000 we budgeted that we're not gonna spend.
Okay.
So we're able to do that, we're able to do that appropriately.
And I just want to remind that we budgeted for this heater, but we budgeted a year ago, 2 years ago for this,
Budget for the last 2 years, 35,000, but we've had so many issues.
that we've had to pull from that to repair, and until now, we're going to replace, so we don't have the funds available.
That's correct.
Okay.
All of the other items, all the other things on the rec center financials are good for the period. We are net revenue over expenditures up about $43,000, and that's good. For the year, we are not favorable by about $59,000. That's because we knew that we were going to take monies out of reserves for repairs. And so that's the reason why that report's that way. Happy to answer any of your questions. Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mayor.
Also, I want to make sure you understand, when I tell you the heater is going, there's 4 burners and we have 1 going. So just so, I didn't want you to think, oh, we're buying one when we don't need to buy one if it's going. It's barely going. So they've been able to use parts from one side to get the other side going, but we're very grateful it's still going, but it definitely needs replaced.
So let me ask you this, it'll go before budget Thursday?
I'm gonna wait until budget in April.
Not for the heater.
No.
The heater is on council tomorrow night for approval.
Right.
Okay, good.
Yes,
Heater's on
that's why we
council.
had the emergency one last
Okay, good.
last
Yeah,
week.
because we got to get that done.
Yes, so
And when
that,
heater goes down, we're,
yeah. That's why we went ahead and did the 2 emergency meetings last week, so it could be approved tomorrow night.
Okay, cool.
And we can order Wednesday morning, and it takes a couple days to get it here. Next week is spring break, so as long as the heater that we have is currently working, we're going to put off replacing, because we're gonna have to be shut down for a day or 2. So we're gonna put off replacing till the first of that week after spring break, like maybe 21st, which is a Tuesday. Hopefully just be down that Tuesday and then be back up Wednesday, so.
we have the
Janice.
temporary on standby if we have to.
Yes,
bring it
we
in.
do,
Okay.
yes, we do. So, but hopefully this one keeps going and, yeah, and we're able to make it by. Okay, for aquatics report, Jackie reported the swim party total in February, 17 public and 4 private, which was down just a little bit. We did have a busy month, GRDA, Thunderbird, and then we had our mermaid event in February, which brought in 75 kids for that, so that was successful. She will extend her family swim for next week since it's spring break, so we will now be open Wednesday and Thursday, 12 to 5. I'll let Terry know. Friday, 12 to 7. And then Saturday and Sunday are our normal hours, 11 to 5, and Sunday 1 to 5. So that'll give us a little more time for the kids to come in. She is going to kick off group lessons starting on Wednesday, March 22nd, as long as the pool is good and the new heater's in place, which will bring in more revenue that way. She also has several schools calling, and they're already setting up field trips to come swim. So very busy. And Swim Float Swim started today. If you'll remember, that's our infant aquatic swim lesson program that we get 20%, and they charge quite a bit, so it ends up being a good shot of revenue for us. And the one thing I did want to mention is there's a young man from Adair who's a senior, Jacob Perryman, and I was visiting with his dad He just won back-to-back state championship in the 50-yard freestyle and the 100-yard backstroke. But his dad was saying what's so cool is he started swimming at the rec center when he was a little boy, and now he's finishing his high school career. He comes in and swims with us. He's on another team, but he comes in and swims laps with us and practices. And he said it's been so neat to start and finish at the rec center, and so he's just really grateful for the pool, and it's just really neat. And so we're waiting to hear where he's going. He's had some great offers, so we're waiting to see where he signs to go to college. But it's been neat seeing him kind of improve over the years. Miscellaneous report, quickly, we had, like I said, 153 new members in February and retained 85%, which is one of the highest retention rates I think I've seen. Friday, February 24th, we partnered with Cherokee Nation. February was Heart Month, and so we partnered with them for a heart health awareness walk. We had 22 people that came and participated, so that was good. Health department was there as well, so it's always good to partner with both of them. We had a challenge in February, if anybody was in there and saw the hearts all over the wall. It was our most popular challenge by far, and I think Kelsey regretted pretty quickly that she did it that way. But basically for the month of February, anyone who came in and completed 30 minutes of exercise inside the rec center, it had to be at the rec center, earned a heart. And we wanted to challenge them to not only be active and work on their heart health for the month, but also to use our facility. So the numbers we ended up with, we had 120 members who participated, which is great. We had 2,086 hearts that were added to the lobby wall. So that is equivalent to 62,580 minutes of exercise that was completed in our facility for the month of February.
That's awesome.
So it's pretty great. Bruce Robbins won, if you saw it on Facebook.
Of course he did.
Of course he won, and he didn't even count when he went to Claremore and did all of his stuff at the farm, but he won. He had 81 hearts for 2,430 minutes of exercise. And we had a member come in who had received a Fitbit from somebody and didn't want it and donated it to us so that we could offer it as a prize for this challenge. So he won himself a new Fitbit. So it was a very, very successful challenge. This month we're looking at, she started a swim challenge for the month of March. It actually goes through, it's March 6th through April 14th. And the goal is to swim the most laps by April 14th. So everybody comes in, they swim, they have to track their laps, report it to the front desk. And if you've been in today, you've seen the fish and the octopus and all the different, so it's fun. The kids love it. And we will update those every week. Kelsey will, as we see how many people swim. And let's see, new classes. The new schedule just came out. We have spin class back a couple times a week. We have a HIIT class on Monday morning, Zumba, and then for the first time ever, we have Aqua Zumba. So we're gonna start offering that in the morning, one morning a week in the pool. And then a Tai Chi class that I have no idea, if somebody's familiar with it, they may know how to pronounce it, but it starts with a Q, so I have no idea. It's a form of Tai Chi. So Charlotte
How's
O'Brien.
it spelled?
You would know, you would know.
Qigong Tai Chi Tran.
That's why I didn't try. There you go. That's why I say a form of Tai Chi.
Yeah, if you see the old,
Gary, you're gonna write that down?
yeah, you go to any park in China, 7 a.m. in the morning, and the elderly people are out doing stuff like this.
So it is sort of like, I mean, it is a Tai Chi version.
Yeah, but there's like a element of like spiritual energy to it.
Okay.
That they try to do stuff with. Yeah, harvest. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, we're excited to see if it picks up. Pickleball is busting at the seams. So pickleball is taking over. They've had 3 courts going every Tuesday, Thursday morning, and I heard Thursday nights has been crazy too. So,
Wow.
yes, it's very busy. Let's see.
Well, with 153 new members,
Yeah,
and then
Everything's
183 the month
the month
before.
before. Everything's busy right
It's
now.
amazing. I actually stood up here and quoted that number and thought it was a miscalculation, but we went with it anyway.
Yeah, no, it was right. It was right. It is a busy place. The outdoor fitness court is getting some use, but I've been talking to Kelsey. We're going to do a kickoff in April to kind of officially kick that off. And so the whole week we will offer different classes out there, intro classes to kind of teach people how each station works. And then classes that are normally inside, we're gonna try to pick a good week for the weather. But classes that are normally inside, we're going to take those classes outside to the court that week and try to kind of, you know,
The FitBiz Challenge, we had our meeting today and talked about that. And talked
Yes.
about utilizing that court for the FitBiz Challenge.
yes, I
So
told her to
That would
do
be
that.
wonderful for us to kind of collaborate and see how we can put that into the schedule.
Yes, be great,
So,
great. Just kind of to show the community, because there'll be a lot of people there. Child Watch, we were able to, we had some money that we put away every year in Child Watch, so we were able to just buy some necessary things that they have been needing, got all that done. But everything else, I mean, I feel like there should be more, but that's really about it. The only other news that I have, and I haven't even got to tell Mike yet, but my house sold in 3 days, so I have to close quicker than I thought. So my last day, instead of April 6th, will be April 3rd. So I will be at the last board meeting here on the 3rd, but that will be my last day. So I
we
just
got a
moved it up 3
signed
days.
contract right here that you don't know about.
I just wanted you to be aware, so you didn't say, where did she go? I thought she was gonna be here all week. So, but other than that, is there anything else that I left out, or that you all can,
So you'll be here at the next meeting in
Yes,
April, right?
yes.
So that'll be your last meeting.
yes,
Okay. Cool.
that will be the last one, and that will still give Mike and I a couple weeks, to work together and work through that transition and get him ready to go.
Any other questions?
Okay,
Great job, Jessica. All right, item number 9, unforeseen business. None, seeing none, we'll take item number 10, adjourn. Entertain a motion.
I motion to adjourn.
Motion by Olson,
Second.
second by, what was your last name? No Fire?
Knopfsinger.
Knopfsinger. I just met him. Sorry.
Hey, I've been called.
He's gonna do some of that Tai Chi stuff over there.
Yeah, I don't know Tai Chi, but I've been called every different variation of Knopfsinger you can imagine.
All right, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Motion approved, so we are adjourned. Thank you. Thank you guys for your service. Thank you for being here this evening.